everyone, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I am so excited about this video. One, because I love independent perfumery and I feel like independent brands don't get a spotlight enough, and also because one of you will be winning a $215 gift card to one of my favorite niche perfumeries. So stay tuned if you're interested in that. For those of you who are new here, my name is Ashley. I work as an apprentice perfumer for a major fragrance company. I've been working in this industry in various different positions, from fragrance curator to fragrance creator, for the past 10 years or so. So if you're interested on kind of an insider perspective on fragrances and fragrance reviews, consider subscribing to the channel. So before we get into my 5 favorite indie fragrances for men, let's talk about what an indie fragrance is. So an indie fragrance is a fragrance made by an independent perfumer for their independent fragrance brand. And so generally that means that these perfumers are self-taught, but all the perfumers on this list have been training themselves in fragrance creation for over 10 years. They are absolutely creating really innovative, new, well-balanced fragrances. It's a sector of perfumery that I discovered while working at Tiger Lily Perfumery, which is now rebranding as the Ministry of Scent. And with that rebranding, they're doing a super generous giveaway of a $215 gift card. And with this gift card, you can pick most of the fragrances in the store, including Parfum de Marly, as well as many, many other niche fragrances. This is one of my all-time favorite niche perfumeries. So to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to this YouTube channel, Ashley in Paris. Subscribe to my Instagram, also Ashley in Paris. Also subscribe to Ministry of Scent, which is the niche perfumery that is so generously facilitating this giveaway, and comment on my most recent Instagram post. And if that's a lot to remember, I will put the description or the details in the description box below. I think that's pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. You don't have to tag 3 friends or anything crazy. Yeah. So now on to my top 5 indie fragrances for men. Number 5 on the list, I've talked about on the channel before in my favorite cheapies, and it's Seafaring Man by Lampblack. And I absolutely love this aquatic fragrance. It's sea salt, bergamot, and aquatic notes. It's very linear, but it's really, really interesting at the same time. Loretto Remsing, the perfumer behind the brand, works with a lot of naturals, and she's been perfuming since the 90s. So she knows her stuff, and honestly, she makes some incredible all-natural fragrances as well under her brand Laro. Seafaring Man, which is under her Laromatica line, is mixed media, so it has naturals and synthetics, and they're both just blended so well together. It's just a really interesting fragrance. It's also a very attractive fragrance, I find, if you like aquatic fragrances. But I think it gets this aquatic feeling in a really natural way, where it's more like a sea breeze and not like cologne, not like a cologne overdose where it's like sea breeze and watermelon. Here you have like sea breeze and some citruses. It's a very natural smelling fragrance. It's not too cologne-y or perfumey. It's just really well done. Number 4 on this list is one of the reasons that I love independent perfumery is how out there it can get. And this fragrance, Tomato Leather, is such a great example of that, because these aren't 2 notes that you would think of pairing together. Normally you would say like, oh, but I don't want to smell like a tomato. But trust me, you do. So here it's really focusing more on tomato leaves as opposed to tomato the fruit. But you have just kind of like this green vibe that works so well with the leather, because leather can be kind of a dark and heavy fragrance material, and the tomato leaf just refreshes it and makes it so invigorating and energizing. The projection and longevity on this fragrance are super nice as well. But it's definitely a really refined, elegant fragrance. Number 3 on my list is a fragrance that if you've been in the fragrance community, you definitely know about, even if it is an independent fragrance, and that is L'air du désert Marocain by Tower Perfumes. This fragrance is coriander, lavender, labdanum, which is like another word for amber, cedar, and patchouli, and it is a beast of a fragrance. It gets so many compliments. It's expertly blended. It truly is a masterpiece fragrance. It just smells so good. I think it does veer slightly masculine because while I find it super addictive and I do love wearing it, for whatever reason, more and more I find I like to smell it on a man more than on myself. But it is just a really great fragrance. Number 2 on my list, this fragrance still makes me happy, and I think one of the reasons that it makes me happy is that really good fragrances sell really well. And this was such an easy sell when I was working in a niche perfumery. You'd spray it, everyone loved it. And this fragrance is called Field Notes from Paris by Ineke. I don't know how a fragrance can at one part be so unique. I can't compare this fragrance to anything else on the market, honestly. But at the same time, it's so likable. Everybody likes this fragrance. And I remember I first started selling it to women because of the name. Like, I don't know, Field Notes from Paris, it felt like kind of a feminine name to me. I'm not sure why. And it wasn't really working. And it's true, like, I never wore it on myself. And then I was just like, okay, but so why am I not wearing it myself? And a lot of times just because even if it's not evident, it just starts to go more masculine. And that's not to say it's like super sporty. Like, for example, a Ligue en Crenoir is literally sold as a masculine fragrance, and I feel like I can wear it. So I think sometimes what defines masculinity on a fragrance is, one, very personal, but two, it's not just like this aquatic, new, fresh sport thing that a lot of designer brands try to push. It can mean different things. And here I find it's the tobacco and the fact that the balsamic notes aren't sweet at all. It just pushes this ever so slightly more masculine to me. And it smells incredible on men. It still smells nice on women. I do like a good tobacco fragrance, but on men, it's the refinement of the tobacco here. I think it's the fact that it's not a gooey tobacco. It's a very dry tobacco with this bergamot. Yes, there's vanilla, but it's not a gooey vanilla. And it's just so good. I think if you're a guy and you like tobacco fragrances, if that's your bread and butter and you haven't smelled Field Notes from Paris, you need to order a sample. It's that good. It's so good. And the number 1 fragrance that I have on this list is also an Art and Olfaction Award winner, and it's König by Yosh. I don't know if I'm saying this name right. I know the meaning is king, so that's never a bad name. And this fragrance smells like apple, woods, leather, vetiver. Again, you really smell like a king with this fragrance. If you like Aventus type fragrances, if you like a fruity top with kind of this darker woody juxtaposition, you have to try König. It's so interesting. You won't smell like anyone else, but it does have this addictive likability factor from the apple, and I'm a huge fan of it. Please let me know what you think about independent fragrances. Is it something that you've tried before? Did you know about this category? Would you like me to go more in depth explaining, you know, how designer fragrances are made versus niche versus independent? Because I know that's a video that I would like to make. I just don't know if you guys care so much about these different categories, but if you do, let me know because I find it to be actually super interesting. Yes, and please consider entering the giveaway. I'm so excited just to be able to be doing this with you guys. I receive absolutely no financial compensation. It's just you guys are the best subscribers in the whole world, so I'm really feeling fortunate just to be able to offer you guys a giveaway. Only caveat, and I should have mentioned this earlier, is that it is limited to the continental United States. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.